It's the Riot Podcast, the Wednesday, November 15th edition. Today is Would You Rather Wednesday. We had a great discussion about how much you would have to pay how much somebody would have to pay you to not work. And the number seems to be different for a lot of different people. We also find out about one secret that a third of men are keeping from their significant others. And if that's healthy or not.
Never is. Secrets are never healthy.
We talk about how women consider friendships more important than romantic relationships and whether that's true or untrue, good or bad. And Kim Kardashian named Man of the Year by GQ Magazine. One of our best episodes of all time, would you say?
I would say it's a good episode.
It's up there. Enjoy, and we'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
Zaya, you doing okay over there?
Doing good. It's a good morning.
Even without your coffee?
Well, that's just the kind of things I expect around here.
That's what you expect?
Just being let down.
When was the last time you started a day at work and didn't have coffee?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. No creamer, though. Huh?
No, we're out of our complimentary creamer this morning.
Out of complimentary creamer. You know, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if we had not just creamer. If we had Eggo creamer. It's a new thing that's coming from Coffee Mate. They have unveiled Eggo waffles with maple syrup flavored creamer will be dropping nationwide in January of 2024. How'd you feel about putting Eggos in your coffee?
Sounds good. It sounds like it would fit with breakfast, so it seems like something they should have already done by now.
Yeah, it's a little surprising that it took them this long to realize that a typical breakfast food might go good with a drink that so many have for breakfast each day. But I saw this, and then initially I was intrigued, and I guess I'm still intrigued. But then I had a second thought, is that as of late, there's been so much Eggo just reaching into so many different venues in the food space, right? You think about there's Eggo Pop-Tarts now. There's Eggo Sippin' Cream, like alcoholic Eggo Nog, and many other places where now you previously wouldn't be able to find waffle-flavored things, and now you can. And they all, like, anything Eggo kind of sounds good, but then again, you think about it, a plain Eggo, what does that even taste like?
A waffle?
But what is that? It's not very flavorful.
It's like similar to a pancake, you'd say?
Yeah. But no one even eats, you don't even eat your Eggo plain. You put probably butter and syrup and whipped cream and maybe other things on it.
Well, I think those things are in, like the Coffee Mate coffee.
But yet they're branded as Eggo. You see what I'm saying? You're starting to see why this is just brilliant by Eggo.
So you think that they should take the maple syrup flavor out of it?
No, I don't. I'm not saying that. I'd say, really, if anything, they should brand it Mrs. Butterworth's or something.
Oh, so you're saying that waffles just taste like syrup?
I'm saying that the waffle themselves is not what gets people excited, even though the brand of Eggo is what's getting people excited.
But don't you think that if you put syrup-flavored Coffee Mate on there, like Mrs. Butterworth, no one would buy that? They'd be much more likely.
You may be right.
They'd be much more likely to buy an Eggo-flavored one.
What I think is that all of our wires are crossed. That we're seeing Eggo, it's like, ooh, it's going to be nice and mapley and buttery, but that's not what Eggo is. It's us. It's all of us that has the problem. It's not Eggo's problem. It's not Coffee Mate's problem. It's us. It doesn't make sense.
You think it should taste like a waffle?
Well, I think it does taste like a waffle with syrup and butter. The good parts, well, of a good waffle.
Yeah, waffle's just kind of like bread.
Yeah. And you're not seeing Wonder Bread flavored creamer, are you?
You're not.
Even though that very well may be good. Maybe if they made a peanut butter and jelly Wonder Bread creamer, that might be, that's about what this is. That's all I'm getting at is just that Eggo's on their own. I just think it's a good job. Good job by them. Because they've made all of us associate Eggos with things that aren't in Eggos that taste really good.
No, well, that's what waffles have done as a whole.
Yeah.
When you think of a waffle, you know that you're putting butter and syrup on it. That's just what goes with the waffle.
That's right. And it is delicious. There's no arguing that.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. RadioU.
Today, Isaiah, you have a prediction who you think will win?
I don't know. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be real close. But Silent Planet's hard to beat.
Yeah, Silent Planet is hard to beat. And just because it's Nene's lot in life, I think Silent Planet will win. But that's not, it's not predetermined. It is up for you to decide when the Battle of the Buzz takes place here in 30 minutes. So make sure you're sticking around, casting your vote for the Battle of the Buzz. Now, I don't know if you know this, but GQ, Gentleman's Quarterly, it just put out their Men of the Year issue, featuring the likes of some of the Men of the Year, according to GQ. Tamar Hamlin. Good choice, right? Jacob Elordi plays Elvis. Tim Robinson, funny guy. And Kim Kardashian. Not only is Kim Kardashian in GQ's Men of the Year edition, she is the cover of the GQ Men of the Year, what do you call it?
Magazine?
No, what's the, I don't know, edition. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Kim Kardashian, GQ is essentially saying, is their Man of the Year.
That's pretty crazy.
People are a little upset, a little confused. Now, she is featured on the cover doing something only a man would do, eating a bag of Cheetos. So it makes sense.
So relatable.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I do. I'm a man, last I checked. So here are there's several hypotheses of why Kim Kardashian would be the Man of the Year. One, she's so good at being a woman that she's actually a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm getting your drift there.
She could be, or so bad at being a woman. I don't know how it works. Or all of us men, literally every single one of us is so bad at being a man that even a woman is better at it.
Well, they're superior, clearly.
Yeah. I guess another idea is that GQ is confused. I'm just, I don't know. I'm thrown for a loop just like everybody else.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept putting a woman on the cover of the GQ Man of the Year. So is she the Man of the Year?
That's what I don't think they've crowned her Man of the Year, but I mean, they are essentially saying that she's the Man of the Year.
How do you think that she feels about being Man of the Year?
That's what I was wondering too.
You think she wants to be Man of the Year? Would you want to be Woman of the Year?
I feel
like that would be kind of disrespectful to women if I was Woman of the Year.
Yeah, but here's what you don't understand. It's okay to disrespect men. If I was named Woman of the Year, yes, I think women should be very upset. But me as a man, I'd be very proud of that.
Being Woman of the Year.
Even if I was Woman of the Year, you wouldn't see that as an insult, would you? To me, hopefully not. I'd be very proud. Wear that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, it's impressive that Kim Kardashian was able to overcome.
Yeah.
Even her own gender. What can't she do?
That's exactly right.
What can't she do?
She broke through one of the glassest ceilings of all ceilings. She did it. The first woman to be named Man of the Year.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
And that's wild.
I don't even think we have room to be upset. I think we should just be proud for her.
I'm shocked.
And clearly we need to step our game up.
Yeah.
We didn't even make the issue for you.
No, we're not even in the cut, man.
Yeah. I mean, at least
we weren't even close.
Tim Robinson's close. He's breathing down Kim Kardashian's neck. But
he's almost as man as she is.
Yeah.
He's close, but not quite enough.
Getting there.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Now, I have here a list of what is supposedly the best and worst places to be, the best cities to be if you're single. As in, like, I guess the best cities where hopefully things will work out for you. If you want to increase your odds, have the best time dating, these are the places you need to go. This is according to Wallet Hub. When I want to know about dating, I turn to Wallet Hub. The number one city, they say, for singles, Seattle, Washington.
Interesting. At number one.
Yes.
Says it's really high up there in fun and recreation and in dating opportunities.
Yep. In other words, I was looking in a little more deeper. Fun and recreation is just like different things to do on a date. They've got a lot of options. Dating opportunities is how many people are single there. Is it balanced? Like, it's not a bunch of single women and only a few men, or vice versa. And how many people are on the apps, stuff like that. Seattle wins out. Not great for economics. You're going to spend a lot or date somebody that's poor, but at least you'll be having fun. According to Wallet Hub. Madison, Wisconsin was number 2. Denver, number 3. San Francisco, 4. Portland, Oregon, 5. So if you're single, you want to increase your odds, your opportunities, you got to go to one of those cities, apparently. You got to make a move. On the flip side, the worst place for singles, I feel bad for you if you're in Warwick, Rhode Island. Coming in dead last, 182 out of 182.
Glendale, California.
Uh-huh.
Brownsville, Texas.
Yeah.
Fort Smith, Arkansas. Shreveport, Louisiana. Some of the bottom
prospects are grim if you're single there in Fort Smith, Arkansas. You've been to Seattle, Isaiah. You buy this? You think it's a great city to be single?
I was there for 3 days.
That's long enough.
I don't think that's long enough for me to make an educated guess on whether I think Seattle's the top place for singles. I just wonder if it matters at all where you live.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I feel like if you're doing the right things, if you, like, want a girlfriend,
yeah,
and you're going on dates, and you're being a normal person,
yeah,
does it matter where you live?
Because it's not like there's no single people in, like, if you're in a city.
If you're in Glendale, California, the 181st overall rank,
yeah,
but you're just a normal guy, and you're just being normal,
yeah,
going on dates, you should be able to find a date.
There should still be options. Yeah.
But I guess maybe they're saying that it would be easier. You might even just fall into it in Denver, Colorado, ranked number 3.
That's right. Like in Denver, Colorado, maybe everywhere you turn, there's a single person. And so your odds are better than if you're in Glendale and only 1 out of every 15 people is single. And so you don't even you don't even get the opportunity. You're not even getting the chance. Everybody's paired up there. I guess that makes sense. I think it matters a little bit, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're actually in a town that has people, even towns that hardly have people, still most people wind up figuring out a way to find somebody. So,
but you probably rather be in one of these towns, one of these top 10 towns.
You would never move for the purposes of finding a date. Like if you happen to meet somebody and they have to go away or whatever, maybe. But you wouldn't move just at any point in life. You wouldn't be like, well, I'm not having a lot of luck dating, so Seattle it is. Let's see if we can get a new start.
So Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, here we go.
Apparently I'll find somebody there.
Things are about to change for me in Madison, Wisconsin.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So interesting poll here. of women finds that 81% of women surveyed feel that friendships are equally or more so important than romantic relationships. Do you believe this?
Well, that's a bad sign for us,
For men?
the boys.
Why do you say that?
Well, if they think that their friendships are more important than
Mm-hmm.
their romantic relationships,
Yeah.
their husband,
Uh-huh.
their boyfriend, that seems kind of wild.
That means they'd rather get divorced than lose their best friend. Right?
That's what would make sense, right?
I think it'd be helpful to know, and they did not survey men in this survey. I wish we could ask the same question of men and find out if men feel the same way. Because, guys even have a saying about, regarding this that I'm not going to repeat here on the radio. But is the same true for men as well? That we consider friendship more important than romance?
I don't buy into this whatsoever.
It's
Even a
overwhelming. It's
little bit.
81%. 81%.
It's impossible.
Of women.
81% of adults don't even have friends. That's a fact.
So then why do you
I don't
think
know
people
what
are
they're
saying
even
this?
saying. I don't even know who's saying this.
Women are saying it.
All people talk about is like, oh, it's so much harder to make friends when you get older. That's what people usually talk about.
That's
And
why
now
it's
they're
so
saying,
important.
you know what? Friends are more important than this man that's been by my side the whole time.
It makes sense. It makes sense, actually, when you put it that way, that as you get older, more people would say, I just have a really hard time making friends than I have a really hard time finding somebody. Because you know what? There's apps and there's places you go to meet people that want to date, that want romance. Where do you go to find people that want friends? So when you have a friendship, you got to hold on to it. And it's more important than, husband, replaceable. Friendship, you can't replace that.
Forever.
It's much more difficult. Much more difficult.
Girls the other thing about girls too is you can ask them about their friends, and the next time you ask them, they're like, "Oh no, I hate her. I would never be friends with her. She's the worst person alive." They're flippity floppity. That's how it works.
Guys don't do that. I'm sure of that.
No,
Not many of them.
I think it's because they're just so unbothered.
Yeah.
They don't go quite as deep, probably, when hanging out. So there's way less opportunity for fallout.
Here was the other thing I was thinking though, and I don't know how this slides into this story here, but if a guy wants to hang out with his guy friends a lot, many women will will limit that a little bit in a relationship, whereas no guy is ever going to limit no, you can't have girls' night. Dudes don't do that to their ladies. So I don't know how that fits in exactly. Maybe it's just that women could be jealous that the men have friends. Could that be?
I don't know.
I don't want to generalize. I'm not trying to generalize too much. I'm trying to figure out how the behavior is much different typically.
Well, I think it's because when it feels like when all the boys are hanging out, they're doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Or maybe when the ladies are hanging out, they're
we're not getting our nails
They're not
done.
getting they're getting coffee or something.
Yeah.
When the guys are hanging
Or
out,
it's Wine Down Wednesday.
they're doing something dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Actually, that aspect has nothing to do with this. But hey, now you know if it's a guy, you know what you're up against. Not only do you have all the other guys to compete with, you also have every woman's friend.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
Get a weekly bonus episode as well, podcast exclusive content. The new episode just dropped. We talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Check that out wherever you get your podcasts. The Worst of the Riot podcast feed. Last night, a big night in the NBA. Controversial actions taken by who other than Draymond Green, Golden State Warriors All-Star, who at the end of when it was all said and done, wound up putting Minnesota Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert in a sleeper hold. Isaiah, you've seen the video. Is there any defense for Draymond Green's actions here?
There's no defense. Draymond's been on kind of a kick recently of trying to be a little bit more disturbing than usual.
Yeah. You mean like a 8-year kick or something?
Yeah, but in the past couple, like the past 3 games, he's gotten into an altercation in every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
With Anthony Edwards, now Rudy Gobert. It seems as if as his career wanes, this may be the path that he goes, which is just being more and more obnoxious in every game.
Yeah. Yeah. As the skills go.
Well, he's averaging 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Not too shabby.
That's pretty good, especially when one of the games you got kicked out 2 minutes into it last night. That's what's crazy, too, is this whole altercation went down before anybody had even scored in the game last night. It actually started. Draymond didn't start it. He sure did finish it. It was Klay Thompson of the Warriors and Jaden McDaniels of the Timberwolves got into a little bit of a scuffle. They were kind of getting tangled up running down the court. And then, some of the players got to go in to start to try to break that up a little bit. And then in comes Draymond from behind, grabs Rudy Gobert from the Timberwolves from behind, puts him in a sleeper hold, and then would not let go. That's what's wild. Because I thought at first when I watched the video, it's like, look, if he's going in there, like if it's any other player, and he goes in there and he's just trying to pull somebody out of the fray, and that's how he does it, like that'd be one thing. But first of all, usually you do that to a teammate, not the opponent. And then secondly, you got him in a sleeper hold. The rest of the altercation's over, and now he is the altercation by keeping Rudy Gobert in a sleeper hold. Do you want this, Isaiah? I think I feel like I felt like this before. Draymond Green, he's done a bunch of things. None of them individually warrant being kicked out of the NBA. But the fact that he just keeps doing it, all of the little slaps on the wrist, even as they get harder and harder, don't seem to be any deterrent to him. Should you just like suspend him for a year or something?
No, you can't do that.
But it's cumulative, like a 3-strike policy.
What is he really doing that's so bad? Like, yes, he's annoying, but he's the player that you want to have on your team. I wish the Cavs had a guy on our team that was like Draymond. If he's on your team, you absolutely love him. He makes your team 10 times better. Everybody needs his enforcer.
No,
but you can't kick him out of the league. And
it
makes the league so much better. It makes the league so much better to have guys like this, because what do you want your players to do every game? You want them to really care.
Mm-hmm.
You want them to back each other up and fight and put people in headlocks. Like, that's what you want to watch. You don't want guys that don't care. Draymond cares. He has a terrible way of putting it out there, but he is one of those players that you want on your team.
I think it's over the top. I think you do want guys that care, but I don't know if he even cares or if he just, is a jerk. Like maybe he just got into the NBA as an excuse to be able to put people in headlocks, because you can't do this anywhere else.
Yeah, but he's a great player though. Like, yet again, he's still a great player, which is just wild that he's been able to hold on for so long. He's just one of those guys that you want on your team. If he's not on your team, you hate him. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But if he's on your team, you'd never want to lose him.
I don't remember you like saying all offseason that the Cavs should sign Dylan Brooks.
No, but Dylan Brooks is another example of somebody that you would want to have on your team.
I don't know.
Like
that.
when you look at the finals, when the Cavs were in the finals, there was Matthew Dellavedova. How good is that player? Not very good. But at the same time, he's one of those guys that you would want to have on your team. You need guys like that.
I think there's a limit, and Draymond's over the limit.
So you want him kicked out of the NBA?
I think they need to send a message.
Once you kick him out, then who's next? Dylan Brooks, is he next? Like, where do you draw the line then?
With people that keep doing it over and over again is where I draw the line.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Today's question, a little bit of a math problem coming at us from Josiah. The question is, would you rather make $500 a day to not work, or $5,000 a day to work a 9-to-5 job? 8772 RadioU. Text in, let us know your thoughts. It is, again, a little bit of a math problem. $500 a day, that equates to what? We're talking like work days, so you don't get money on weekends.
Okay, so just work days.
Yep. So 5 days a week, you get $500 a day to not work at all. You're not allowed to work. So
it's $120K, just about.
$120K a year.
Before taxes and everything.
But you're not allowed to have a job. I don't want to hear anybody coming in here, I'd take the not work and then I'd get another job. Obviously, that's not the question. Don't even start with us. Or times that by 10, $5,000 a day, but you still got to keep on working.
That's 1.2 mil a year.
You wanna be a millionaire, or do you want to make a bit over $100K a year, but you don't have to work at all? 8772 RadioU.
This is a really hard one.
It's tough. It's tough, and I want to know. I guess I want to know not only which side you would fall on just off the rip based off of these numbers, but also how would you have to move the numbers to make you choose the other side?
How much would it have to be?
Yeah. Keeping in mind that you'd still make 10, as long as the numbers are still 10 times more to work, which would you choose? 8772 RadioU. Let's see what people are saying. We'll take some time to ponder this one as well. It's Would You Rather Wednesday.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Would You Rather Wednesday. You can text in at 8772 RadioU with your thoughts on today's question, which is, would you rather make $500 per workday to not work at all, and you're not allowed to have any job? You can't get paid additionally by doing something else. It's $500 a day to do absolutely nothing as far as work is concerned. Or make $5,000 a day, but you have to work a 9-to-5 job. You can text in at 8772 RadioU. We have Tiffany, who says $500 a day to not work, so I could travel and spend my money where and when I want it. You also have Abby, similar thoughts. I would rather take the $120,000. That's, $500 a day, 5 days a week. Throughout a year, that equals about $120K per year to go full nomad like a hippie.
Oh.
Yeah. I like that. I like that take
Sounds
on
relaxing.
it. I like that idea. Nathan doesn't necessarily choose a side, but he says he doesn't think it's about the money. It's more about whether or not you can stop going to work and not become a sloth. All that time on your hands. Hannah says, I want to be a stay-at-home mom anyways, so $500 a day is fine with me, and that's a full-time job anyways.
Heck yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you can make $500 a day to be a stay-at-home mom, that makes a lot of sense, because you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't make any money doing that. Adam, are you kidding me? $500 a day to not work. That's a no-brainer for sure. I'm going with that one. Regina, $500 a day, or $5,000 a day, and go to work. I've been in between jobs before and get incredibly bored. It would make work more tolerable if you're making that much. And all the nonsense I have to put up with currently at my job would be easier to deal with if it was $5,000 worth of nonsense. What are you thinking, Isaiah?
I go back and forth here. This is tough. Where I am now, I think I would take the 5,000. I think I would take the 1.2 mil a year.
Yeah. And keep working.
Which is so hard to choose. But I think that's what I would probably pick, because then if I wanted to, my wife could stay at home. And when you think about it this way too, I could take the 500 and take the 120K a year, which is good. It's not like amazing, like the greatest thing on earth. I'm not like filthy stinking rich or anything.
Yeah.
But the 5,000 a year, then I'm feeling pretty good. Then like my kids are set up real hot,
Yeah.
like a little bit more generational wealth, you know?
Well, I'm with you that I would, we're in agreement, although I think the majority of everyone else seems to be taking the no money. I mean, it's not a vast majority, but more people are taking the no work and $500 a day. But I think, like some have said, I would first of all get bored doing nothing, not being able to work. I need something to fill my time. And people are saying travel, but unless you live like the van life, $120,000 a year is a lot. That's still not a lot. Like you can't have a house and a van. Like you're going to run through your money pretty quick. You're not going to be able to be comfortable. Van life doesn't sound very comfortable. But $120K a year is not enough to have 2 homes or multiple homes throughout the country, to go back and forth. So I'm taking the 1.2 mil, and that still allows me. I'm still only working 5 days a week. I still get vacation and stuff, right? Like we're not discounting that. So I can still do it. Now I'm making $1 million a year. I can do everything that I really could think of that I would want to do. And I still have a job to occupy my time when I'm not traveling and taking vacations and whatever.
Shroom made a really good point. This could be a swing. I thought about this too. $500 per day feels more sustainable. The 5K ends when you quit working, but the 500 keeps going. Therefore, when you retire, you're going to end up with the exact same amount of money. It's going to be pretty darn close.
1.2 million is enough for you to have a pretty healthy savings built up too.
Yeah, but think about this.
You invest a 401k, you start doing that kind of stuff.
But you think about this. Think about this. You quit working at 50 years old. You retire, right? Because you're not going to work forever. You want to retire. Then from 50 to 85, you're living off that savings, right? But in my mind, because at the end, you're not going to have millions and millions of dollars anymore.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, well, why'd you even work in the first place? You could have just not worked the whole time and probably been in a similar place.
I don't think there's a lot of people that make $1 million a year and run out of money.
I'm not saying you're going to run out of money, but I'm saying if you're making $120K when you're 85 years old, you're probably going to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah. But also, though, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money and they don't just stop working at 50. Most people don't stop working, no matter how much you make, you don't stop working at 50 because of the very thing we mentioned that, at least for me, I'd get real bored.
But think about this.
I'd
There's
like
a lot
to
of
think if I could retire at 50, I would. But at the same time, I think when I'm 50, I'm going to be like, well, what am I going to do all the time?
But think about this. There's somebody going into work today that hates their job and they would do anything to quit. They don't care if I said, would you rather have 1.2 mil to keep your job right now or 120K? They would say, I hate my job. I'm going home.
You gotta really hate your job to say no to $1 million a year, though.
I'm sure there's some people that really don't like their job. I mean, if you're saying no to $1 million to do 120K, that's a lot easier to say no to.
8772
RadioU. Cleaning somebody's toilet, that's probably what you're taking if I had to guess.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Now, Isaiah, even in the healthiest of relationships, where honesty is so key, that doesn't mean there's not secrets. You're almost bound to have a few.
You've got secrets, do you?
No matter how
many
good,
secrets do you have?
No matter how strong the relationship is. For example, according to a new survey, 1 out of every 3 men in a relationship has done this in secret, and that is a home improvement project.
Well, the ladies aren't going to like that. They don't like secrets.
Yeah, you got to be honest. But, maybe you just, as a guy, maybe you're just thinking, what input does she even need to add on this? If I want to put a stone walkway in the backyard, that's my choice. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe these are surprises, meant to be surprises.
These aren't surprises.
So you're telling me I have 2 questions for you. 1, would you ever do this? And 2, could you? Not only would you try to pull off a secret home improvement project, but do you think you would be capable of such a thing? And forgetting about the actual home improving part.
Like, could I keep a secret?
Could you keep a project a secret?
I would say I could keep a project a secret if it is more of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think
New French doors, perhaps.
Yeah, I would say the reason that this happens is because there's not gonna be an agreeal on
Agreeal?
agreeal. They won't be able to agree.
You mean agreement?
There will not be able to be an agreeal on maybe the color, maybe the type. It's not that it's going to be a big surprise. It's that if you asked her, what kind of doors do you want?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get an answer for a very long time.
It could, and yeah, you might disagree. So,
or you might never get an answer. She might never be able to make up her mind. So you might just say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Put it in there. And I'm sure that's happened many a times.
Yeah, I don't know if that sounds very healthy. I think for some of these, it could literally be something where, you know, if it's something that's going to change the appearance of the house in some way, then of course, I think you wouldn't want to keep that a secret unless it is meant to be a surprise. Like, oh, she's always mentioned that she wants a new patio, and so I'm putting it in. Again, that'd be hard to keep secret, but take a week away. Go take a week vacation. I don't know. But if it's something like, let's say plumbing, maybe where, like, you know, the input wouldn't matter as much, just that it gets done. The guy notices, hey, we need to update this piping, got to be switched out. You can also see how little I know about home improvement. The PVC. We got to get some new PVC in here.
So the study here is talking about 43% said they disagreed on style or taste, so that's why they didn't tell him. 80% said they disagreed on budget, so that's why they didn't tell him. So I think it's more of just a secret.
But if you disagree on style or taste, it's a big risk, because then you're talking about you put this in, and then what if the missus says, oh, no, we won't have this yellow? Really? That shade? We're not doing this.
This is what you need to realize. It doesn't matter what you put in. You're not going to agree.
So then just put in what she wants at first.
And
so that you don't have to redo it or get somebody angry. You just got to live with it.
You just got to do it. You just put it in.
I don't think this is healthy at all. Take it from me, a married man. You don't want to do this.
This dude doesn't do home improvement.
No.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
For that, Isaiah, do you know anybody who watches Young Sheldon?
I don't think so. Never was really my show.
No. Definitely not. I don't think I've seen a single second of Young Sheldon.
Oh, so you never even gave it a chance.
I never gave it a chance. But I thought it's probably similar to Big Bang Theory, which I don't like.
So did you ever watch Big Bang Theory? Because I like the Big Bang Theory.
I've seen the Big Bang Theory.
That show I liked, but Young Sheldon didn't do it for me.
I do know that my mother-in-law likes Young Sheldon quite a bit. So she'll probably be sad to hear this. But it does lead me to my next question, which is Young Sheldon. I mean, it's made it 7 seasons. Very successful as a spinoff, of course, of The Big Bang Theory. My question is, and you can open up the Riot hotline for this if you'd like. What's your spinoff idea? New TV spinoff. They seem to sometimes work out pretty well. 8772 RadioU. TV executives are listening as we speak. This is a spinoff. This is not just a reboot. You got to come up with it's a character that can support a show all on their own. Who could it be? 8772 RadioU. Let us know. Isaiah, start thinking. We'll see what people are coming up with. Coming up next.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
What TV spinoff do you think should be made? Because you think about some of the best shows of all time are spinoffs. Better Call Saul, one of my very faves. spinoff of Breaking Bad. Frasier getting a new life, a spinoff of Cheers. Young Sheldon, one of the great shows of our lifetime.
Whoa.
Coming to an end this May. A spinoff of Breaking Bad, Big Bang Theory. We need some more spinoff ideas. 8772 RadioU. Let us know what you're thinking. Cliff, let us know. He thought Kramer from Seinfeld would be a good character to get a spinoff. Kramer always had something going on that you didn't actually get to see portrayed in Seinfeld. So it makes a lot of sense. I like it.
And people want more Seinfeld.
People definitely want more Seinfeld. Philip texted in. He said, Martha Jones from Doctor Who. What do you know about Doctor Who, Isaiah?
I don't know a darn thing.
Me neither. But sure, good answer, Philip. Tom. He says, a spinoff of Ted Lasso covering AFC Richmond after Ted is gone. What do you know about Ted Lasso?
I've heard of it.
Likewise. Good answer, Tom. Snow says, Hannah Montana as an adult.
Whoa.
Now we're talking.
Now we're thinking.
Now you're speaking my language here. I like it. Isaiah, what are your thoughts?
Some of the ones that I thought. I also delved into movies a little bit too.
Okay.
But one of the ones I thought for TV that I am shocked that has not been made.
Yeah.
I don't know if this would be for me, but this character is one of the most famous characters, and that would be Stewie from Family Guy. I feel like a spinoff of him would make a lot of sense.
Like grown-up Stewie?
Yeah, like growing up. They already did the young Sheldon.
Yeah.
You'd think that an adult Stewie or even a teenager Stewie, I'm surprised that hasn't happened.
That's a good idea.
How about some of these other ones? President Snow from the Hunger Games.
Interesting.
That comes out this Friday. That's already a spinoff.
That's right. That's right.
Some of the other one I thought it'd be kind of cool in the same vein as the Hunger Games if they did one on like Hey Mitch or Finnick Odair were two of the ones that I thought from the Hunger Games would make for cool backstories since they both were in the Hunger Games at different points.
Yeah.
The other one that was kind of on the top of my mind because I've recently watched this movie is from The Dark Knight when he rises. From Batman. Because at the very end of the movie, if you remember,
spoiler alert,
they show Robin.
Yeah.
And they never made the Robin movie.
Never gets to come to fruit.
They never made the Robin movie, which I thought might be one. And then the final one, because I love me some Lord of the Rings, would be a little Gandalf spinoff.
Interesting. I wonder how C.S. Lewis would feel about J.R.R. Tolkien would feel about that. The estate. They'd probably be fine with it. They'd make a lot of money. My first thought for TV is Parks and Rec. Because I was thinking The Office at first, right? Because so many fun characters in The Office. But I think, I don't know if any of them are likable and have an interest. Seem like they have an interest. Like part of The Office is that they just don't have interesting lives. And so I don't know if any of them
could carry it.
Yeah, would carry it. Would have enough going on if they left The Office. So, but I was thinking Parks and Rec, right? What if Perd Hapley had a spinoff? What is his personal life like?
Perd Hapley,
the newscaster.
Yes.
I don't know what you're saying, but it has the cadence of a joke. What is he like when he's not in the show? I want to know. I want to know what Perd Hapley going about regular life is like. I think that'd be very entertaining. That was the first one that came to mind for me. I don't know if I have any more off the top of my head. It's tough. But that's why when you figure a spinoff out and you like have a good idea with it, you got to roll with it because it's lightning in a bottle.
Snow says an entire Dwight or Kevin spinoff would be good. Jessica says yes, Gandalf. Any of the characters from Ted Lasso as well. And Susanna says, or a Lord of the Rings one where the hobbits are just happy and jolly and nothing bad happens to them.
They deserve that.
Something bad always happens to them.
They deserve that. And they're not, you know what? That actually could be said for a lot of characters and a lot of things.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.